8. अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, ओके ओके ओके। एक यार ये मैं ना, मेरे पास यार 3-4 फाइल रखी हैं इसकी, क्या नाम है, ये वाली ना, अपने पास में 3-4 फाइलें रखी है मेरे पास, तो मैं कोई रॉन्ग फाइल खोल के बैठा।
अच्छा, मैं अपडेटेड आपको शेयर कर रहा हूँ।
वो है ना,
यही है, मतलब वैसे तो चेंज नहीं करी मैंने, पर हो सकता है शायद पुराने वाली हो आपके पास।
मैं ना कि टॉपिक्स तो अपने को पता ही होगा ना। ठीक है, आप शेयर कर दो यार, ये कोई इशू नहीं है, आप शेयर कर दो, टॉपिक्स तो वही है।
और आप एक काम कर देना प्रवीण भाई, आप इसी में जो है ना, जो डन हो गया वो डन कर देना बस आप।
हाँ ठीक है, मैं करता हूँ वो। मैं
मतलब आपको वैसे ही शेयर कर रहा हूँ स्क्रीन पे, वैसे ही मतलब आप एडिट कर
हाँ
पाओगे।
सीधा, या तो उस पर शेयर कर दो टीम्स पे, या कैसे भी लिंक भेज दो।
हाँ, लिंक दे रहा हूँ, आप इजीली एडिट कर पाओगे। ठीक है, चलो फिर आप कैरी ऑन करो।
ठीक है जी, ठीक है, ओके ओके। एक मिनट रुकना यार, ये है हमारा हेलो। हाँ जी, तो कल की कोई किसी टॉपिक में कुछ रीड किया हो, कोई डाउट है, कोई प्रॉब्लम, कोई इशू, आप मुझे बताओ। एनी वन ऑफ यू हैव एनी डाउट, एनी इशू? आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
यस प्रवीण।
जी, कल के किसी कोई इशू हो बताइए मुझे। टुडे वी कैन मूव फॉरवर्ड। Yes, still you guys need time to practice. I think you guys need time to practice, right?
Yes, I guess when you'll give the assignment, then we'll be able to get through the topics easily.
Okay. Well, anyone have no doubts still, right? So, ठीक है. We'll cover them. Okay, let me open that training plan ना, जो Pradyuman have shared. ठीक है. Okay, guys. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once you can, once it's visible. So I will make you go through with the today's topics, right? So, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, Praveen.
Okay. So yesterday we covered topic like we covered script include, right? We covered events, we covered email script, and we covered script actions. With this part, we also covered how to set up the notification, email properties, email templates, and events for the email. These are means events. Both of these topics are common in both of these days. So email events or events are similar. Okay. So we have covered both of these things. Now, 1 minute here. So now what and a part of it, day 10, client side scripting. We already have talked about glide form, glide user. Anyone have any doubts here or want to ask some question or have any confusion in this client side scripting part? Yes, one client script is pending, that is means that is remaining, and that is cell edit client script, right? So we are skipping that for now. A part of it, I think glide form and glide user both are clear to use. Okay.
Praveen,
Yes.
so while I was going through different types of Glide APIs in the docs, I found one Glide system also. So what is that?
Where we have talked about the glide system. We have talked about the glide system. How you are using? Yesterday I told you gs dot event queue, right? Who is this? Well,
Vishal.
okay. So Vishal, we have covered it earlier when we have covered when we covered glide record at the same day. We covered it. You remember gs dot add info message, gs dot add error message, gs dot
Oh,
event
okay, okay,
queue.
okay. Got it. Add info
And
message are part of Glide system. Oh, got
yes,
it. GS,
gs dot,
GS basically.
yes,
Oh,
right.
yes, got it.
Yeah, hi, Praveen, Pranshu this side.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
Praveen, if we want to print something in a list view, how can we do that? How can we get the output in list view? Like, is there anything like that?
Means what you asking exactly? I'm not getting. In the
Uh,
list you what you want.
yeah, actually, there was one question in the assignment also that
Mhm.
it was create a business rule for issue table that caller only able to see his issue in list view. So I have written that query, but how will he be able to see his issue in the list view?
So means the person should be able only to see the particular issues in the list view. Means is it right?
Yeah, it is written that.
Some specific issues only he should be
Yeah,
able to see it. So
yeah,
for that you will write a query business rule.
yeah. Before query business rule, I have written for that. But like if we want to print the output, then we have to use that same gs dot error. Sorry, add info message.
No. So means that means whenever some person will come on the issue management table, right?
Yeah.
And click on the issue management, automatically all those means in the list only those records will come which are qualifying your particular query. Rest
Okay.
of the records will not come. That means
Okay.
is this.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Okay. Any other question from someone?
Praveen, Karthik.
Yes, Karthik.
Praveen, I was solving one BR question. Even Atul tried that one for deleting the problem record.
Mhm.
It's not. It is showing some table access policy.
Table access policy.
Yeah, it is unable to delete the operation for the corresponding table name because of the table cross access policy. It seems.
Table cross scope access policy it should be, right?
Scope. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Table cross scope. No. Okay, so what happens sometime for so you have to check in which application you are doing this thing, and in which application you have written your business rule. So your
Yeah, we checked yesterday everything we checked that one. Issue, global, everything we did it. Issue management and global. We changed it and we saw it. And we were even trying to delete the record from the incident. If there is something with the problem table, then
mm,
it couldn't get deleted. Uh,
mm-hmm,
Atul and me almost tried for half an hour, but it was showing something. Same with was my teammate Sunil. So we have same buddy.
mm-hmm,
There he tried, there he worked out, he went to the access something, and there we have chosen can delete, can read, and all those things were there.
mm-hmm.
But that couldn't happen due to something issue is there, it seems. So we have to work. So code is correct, it is unable
Mm.
to delete it, and that's the reason.
Okay,
Code
then we should today in the later means today later session or after this session, you can directly call me. We can sit and solve it together.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone have any other problem, similar problem, not getting resolved it or something happening? You guys can let me know. Okay, so we are now we are going to cover today's topics. So today's topics are client-side scripting part. So here you will see there are the topics like introduction to the UI policies, introduction to the data policies, introduction to the UI action, introduction to the UI script. Okay, now first of all we will be covering UI policies. So what is a UI policy in ServiceNow? So UI policy basically is a way to perform some operations which you most commonly perform using some client script, right? So for example, basically ServiceNow work on the base means service what ServiceNow want that you don't need to write code for everything. So that's why they have provided the UI policy for some common things. For example, let me open any table which might be I have previously created. By that time I will try to log in into my another instance. I think this is very slow. Okay, I have to hibernate it. Well, any one of you have read about UI policy earlier, or means by yourself if you get some time? So yes.
I guess we use UI policy to make fields mandatory, read only, visible, and one more thing was there. I don't remember. Oh,
So for example, let's for now we can take example of incident table, right? So now, okay. So so what we want basically most commonly we have to write some scripts. For what kind of scripts? For example, if my category is inquiry help, right? Or if my software, if my category is software, or if my category is hardware, in such scenarios some of the field should become read only, some of the field should become invisible, some of the field should become mandatory, right? So such scenarios we handle using the client script most commonly. But before client script we should go with the UI policies, because UI policy provides us a very easy way to do the same thing. So we don't prefer scripting in those areas. For example, how to apply the UI policy. Now I want a UI policy whenever my category is, for example, inquiry help. I want to make service read only. This service field, it includes a means it's a reference field and it is referring to a table, right? And I want that whenever I am choosing the inquiry help, service should become read only, right? So how to do it? You have to go configure, and you can see here UI policies, right? Few UI policies are already created here, okay, and few UI policies we will create. These are the out of the box one. Now for example, as I told you, I want to create a UI policy that whenever categories inquiry help, our service should become read only. How to do it? So in the UI policy part, we have to select the condition first of all, that if this condition is matching, and then in the related list you select the action which we have to perform in case of if this condition matches, right? In the short description part here, So table should be the table on which you want to run this UI policy, and short description part you will write here that okay, this is the means, this is the purpose of this UI policy. For example, condition should be categories inquiry help, right? Just that's it. Now a part of it, global. Global means this client script will work on, means it will always work, whatever the UI view you have, it will always work, right? Onload means this client script will work on the onload, not only on the on change, but yes, it will work on the onload as well. And reverse if false means if categories inquiry help, it will make it read only, but if category is not inquiry help, in that case it will reverse, it will do the reverse functionality as well. We are saving it, so we will see it just after saving this record. Yeah, sorry. We have saved this record. Okay, now we have saved this record, but on this condition, whenever this condition is fulfilled, what we want basically. So for that you have to come here at the bottom of this form, and here in the UI policy actions you have to come, click on the new and select what behavior you want with particular field. So these are the basically 4 operations you can apply on a field. Like you can make it mandatory, you can make it visible or non-visible, you can make it read only, non-read only, or you can clear the value of that field, right? Now I will choose the field name. For example, category. No, sorry. We want to apply this function on the service, this functionality. So we will see various services. One minute. Service. Right. So what I want to make it read only. Submit it. So we'll make read only true. Let's see something happen or not. So you can see if categories inquiry help services read only, let's choose something else. Now categories, now services not read only, again choose inquiry help, it is becoming read only. So this kind of feature we can create, or we can develop using the UI policies. Only for this purpose UI policies are used. So as I have shown you, 4 kind of operations you can perform using a UI policy on a particular field, right? So you can make that field read only, we can make that field mandatory, or you can make the field visible or non-visible, means hide or show on the form using the UI policy. Plus fourth option is you can clear the field value. Once I am clicking on the inquiry help, service value should be cleared out, right? So for these 4 things we can work using the UI policies. It's a very easy topic, I know, you can guys can easily understand it. There is not a rocket science here, right? So these 4 operations you can apply.
Parveen, I was reading article on this, means going through the docs. There I found that it don't need any scripting. So is there any scenario when when we will be needing to write script also in UI policy? Any scenario?
Yes, scenarios will come. So it depends upon that. So means if I will try to remember, yes. So for example, many times what happens if this is happening, if categories inquiry help, I want to hide this section related records. I want to hide this section resolution information. Hiding the section functionality is not provided by the UI policy actions. In this scenario, many times you can use the script part. Who is this? Well, Vishal or Karthik?
Vishal. So I guess if we have to write a query for in the UI policy, then shouldn't we approach to client script because that will work faster than I guess UI policy?
No, basically there is not a particular order that which will work faster. So means whenever you are working, so basically what happens now, you have already created some UI policy. Man, lot of fields are here. Means for making the read only, for making the mandatory true or false, right? And one of the most beneficial thing in ServiceNow and UI policy is that this reverse false. If you have read it up to that point, you should know the reverse false. So first read the functionality, what reverse false is doing, then you will get the clear understanding why we not use client script. So go and read first why we use reverse false. If you find a clear understanding of reverse false, you will surely get that why we should not use client script. Because whenever if for a particular thing you have to write a lot of lines in client script, but only means the opposite thing you can do in UI policy just on clicking on this button, right? So such scenario, when I think when you will face the scenario, you will automatically get to understand them. Or you can read about reverse false, you can do some practical, then you will get a clear understanding. A part of it you can let me know. Okay. Now, so guys, we have why we have I told you that why we have used UI policy. So basically in the UI policy we can do less coding, just only means you are seeing that we have not do any scripting for the conditions, we have not did any scripting for actions, right? So all these things we can do automatically or easily just on few clicks, right guys? Now this is the only topic about the UI policy. Yes, we have run script as well, but there are means rare scenarios we use run scripts, right? And one of the other common scenario could be that you have to put advanced condition which you can't put here. In such scenarios also you can use run scripts, but for now you can skip it. Now data policy, there is another topic if you will read in our list today, data policy. So what happens in ServiceNow? Sometime we want to as we are applying something at the client side, similar things we want to apply at the database side, right? So in such scenario, database side means server side. So means we want to put some validation, or we want that if categories inquiry help, right? So subcategory should be antivirus always. If it is not antivirus, I will not submit the record or I will not update the record, right? So means it's kind of validation at the client script. What we're doing, we are saying that if For example, at the client side, I am saying that if category is inquiry help, service should be mandatory. Let's consider this scenario, and let's change it in this way. So for example, I will make it false. I am changing its functionality, and I am saying that it should be mandatory. Right. So you can see now services becoming mandatory. On none, it is not mandatory, but on software, it is, sorry, on inquiry help, it is becoming mandatory, right? So this is the functionality we are achieving. Now at the client side, just see that on the inquiry help, we won't make it mandatory, right? So we apply a UI policy, but that will work on the client side only, not at the server side, right? For example, if someone is hitting the record from the background or somewhere else or from the list layout, right, you are inserting the record, in that case it is not mandatory at server side. But there are many scenarios where we want to make it mandatory at server side as well. It is mandatory only at the UI policy, but if somehow you have mean somehow basically you have managed to make it non-mandatory field, which we can do, where a developer can do easily, right? So in such scenario, what will happen that you need a validation at the server side as well. So for that purpose, you will use data policy. How to create a data policy? Again, you have to come into the configure and you have to click on the data policy. Another way is same UI policy, right? One minute. Same UI policy you can convert as a data policy. Means a same UI policy we can convert to work as a data policy as well. So you can see here is a related link. Here is a related link, like convert this to data policy, right? So we can means our UI, this UI policy will become a data policy as well. And what would be the data policy? That if categories inquiry help, I need what I need, that business service should be mandatory always, right? So this field always should be mandatory, correct?
Praveen, if you are converting this UI policy to data policy,
No,
both will be working parallelly, or yeah?
yes, no. So they will not work parallelly. How can they work parallelly? One is at client side, one is at server side. So they will come after one another. Means after in a order, right? So if it is a UI policy, first of all, UI policy will come.
Then
Then
data policy. Okay.
so as I told you that if you are selecting none, it is non-mandatory. If you are selecting inquiry help, it is becoming mandatory. I want to create a data policy as well. So I will go configure in the data policy. Most of the time we don't use data policies because it becomes a headache basically. Let me tell you guys, it becomes headache because most of the time we create the data policy and it restricts us at lot of places. So that's why we do not prefer to use data policy at many places. Now let's create new data policy. So yes, again table incident. Similarly, it is having reverse if false as at the UI policy level. Active true. Show description, again the same thing, you can type here that make service mandatory if categories inquiry apply to import sets. It is not related to you, right, guys, right now. Right to SOP is also not related to you right now, and use as a UI policy on client, but already we have created a UI policy for the same functionality, so we can remove them. And from here I can select the condition that whenever the category is inquiry help, save it. So data policy rules, right? Similarly, you will, what you will do, you will select the field name. Similar thing we did in the UI policy. And I am saying that it should be mandatory. Just refresh once this form. Right, now we will try to submit it. I am submitting it. Let's see if some error will come or not. So we have successfully submitted the record. There was no error, no issues, right? Because we provide the value of the mandatory field, right? Because here in this place, UI policy means the UI part forces us to put some value, but there will be many scenarios when you will be submitting the incident not directly from the UI part. You will be submitting the incident using the glide record. You will be submitting the incident from some third party integration, or you will be submitting the incident from some other places as well. In such scenario, always your UI policy will not work, so you have to use data policy, right? So now I will stop my UI policy, which will not restrict me to do the thing at the UI part. I will stop that UI policy, and we will see that will data policy work here or not. Because for now UI policy is helping us here to means which is forcing the user to provide the some value in the service, right? So as soon as I will click clear it, so UI policy is making it mandatory. So for now I will stop my UI policy so that we can see data policy in action. I will refresh it again. Right now what we will do, we are selecting category inquiry help, and we will clearing this value. Now let's try to save it. We will see we will have any error or not right now. Yes. So you can see that data policy exception. Why? Because we say that the data policy site category inquiry help, then service should be mandatory, and we have not provided the mandatory field value. That's why it is throwing this error. So I think now, guys, this data policy concept is clear to you, right? So that this was a concept about the UI policy as well as data policy. Right now, I can't tell you all the scenarios, how it will work, how it will impact at the back end. So means all these things will come time by time when you will do practice, and when you will do practical things in service now on when you will be onboarded on the project, then you will learn many things here. Okay. So this was the core purpose of the UI policy and data policy. Any issue, any doubt till now, any confusion? Otherwise I will move to the another topic, UI actions. Okay, so we are now moving towards the another topic, which is UI action. Give me 2 minutes. So this is a sample table which we created, I think, few days back. So I am opening this table, and we want to create a UI action on this table. So what is a UI action? Basically, UI action is a button which we create on a table to perform some action, right? So that button is called UI action in ServiceNow. How to create it? Let's let it open its record. Then we will see how we can create it. So basically, you can see, guys, I have created a testing button here already, right? And we will see how we can create similar kind of button. And on these buttons we can perform some logics, we can perform some operations, we can perform some coding. Okay, we can apply some scripting. So you have to come here, configure and your actions. Right, so already I have created a one UI action. Let me open it and I will explain you what we did there. So basically, first of means this UI action form will come and you will submit all your requirements here. On the basis of those requirements, your UI action will be visible on the form. हेलो, मैं तो ठीक हूँ बताऊँ.
Ravin, we are not able to hear you.
Yes, guys. Give me 5 minutes. Yeah. So our this complete form has been loaded. So now, so first field you are seeing here is the name. So name means name of the UI action you want to give, right? Another thing is table. On which table you want to use this UI action. Order. On which order, left to right, right? These UI actions will come. Action name, it is always a unique name. You should means it is a best practice. You should give your means your action your UI action some unique name, action name. And if you are not giving, it is not mandatory. Active, active means you want to make it active or not. If you are making it active, otherwise it will not be active. Show insert, show update. So means on the new form, on the new form also. For example, if I will come on the new form, so if you will come on the new form, so your UI action will be visible, as well as on the submitted form your UI action will be visible. So show insert and show update will do this work. Now we can use the UI action again in two ways, as client callable UI action, non client callable UI action, right? So first of all, I will create a non client callable UI action. So for that purpose, I will come here, I will create a new UI action, and I will provide all those fields which I just explained you. Let me give the name to this situation. For example, testing one. I am not giving any action name. Yes, I wanted to insert means on the new record as well, and on the previous record as well, on the old record submitted records as well. Client list v2 compatible, it will be automatically available here. You don't need list v3, right? You can skip it for now. On click, so you will write a function here which will be called whenever you will click on that UI action na, that button will be called. So for example, I am giving here my call me here. This is my function name, and I will write this function name here, right? So here we are, first of all, we are creating a client callable UI action, very simple client callable UI action, right? So I click on the client list v2 compatible, it will automatically come. You don't need to change it or do anything, right? So just let's see, rest of the fields I will explain you in few minutes. Just see till here what we are achieving. So for example, alert 1 and save it. Now we have submitted this UI action, but it will not be visible at your form still, because you have to select a type of the UI action. What kind of UI action you want to make it? Let me tell you what is that type. For example, form button. For example, form button. Form button means if you want to show a button at the header, like update and delete. Form context menu. If you want to create a context menu here, you want to create a button for here. Form link. If you want to create a link at the bottom of the form, related links, right? List banner button. If you want to make this button available at the list of table, right? list bottom button, if you want to make it available at the bottom of the list, right? So such kind of types, guys, try everything by yourself, and you will see that what different kind of UI actions means. This single UI action can be visible, made visible at various locations. For now I am putting it as a form button only, and I am saving it. So after saving the button, let me see is it available or not at our form. Yes, it is available. Click on it, and yes, we are having alert 1, right? So this is the way how we can create a simple UI action, right, of client callable. Now what is the difference between the client and server? In a client callable UI action, we can use client script, right, like alert, console, such, or document, such kind of object. Document you can't use in ServiceNow. So such kind of object means g underscore form, g underscore user, those objects you can use in a UI action which is client callable. But if the UI action is not client callable, right, if the UI action is server side, remove client from here, right, and remove it from here. Now it is not a client callable. So if I will try to print, or I will try to run alert here, it will throw an error, or it will not do anything, right? So in such scenario, you will use now server side coding. Server side coding is, for example, gs.add info message. So for example, hello, testing one. Let's save it and let's see it. Right, so we have made it now from client. We have converted it to the server side UI action. Now refresh it again, and let's see what will happen. Right, we have hello testing one. Yes, it is redirecting you towards a different kind of page, and this is the problem with the UI action, server side UI action. It may redirect you towards a some different kind of page. So for that purpose, we have to do here, there's a object action. For that purpose, we do here action dot set redirect URL, right, and we have to pass here current. So for that purpose, we have to use this extra line, right? Otherwise you can see it works and it displays message hello testing one, correct? So these two kinds of client script and server side UI action you saw, and you can practice them by yourself. Okay, and if it is redirecting towards somewhere, so you guys can use action dot set redirect URL and current. It will keep you on the current page. Okay, now this UI action part is also completed. Some other advanced things will come in this UI action part, but I think they will come or we will cover them in the scenario we will give you in the assignment. Okay. Now, one more scenario what could be that how to use a UI action as a both kind of UI action means in a single UI action we can use server side as well as client side coding. For example, if this UI action is a client callable UI action, so I can call server side as well as client side code here, right? How to do that? I will cover it. I think in the tomorrow class or the day after tomorrow class. Okay, but basically, first of all, practice only these things. Now, our next topic is, let me see, UI scripts is our next topic. So guys, UI script, what is a UI script basically? Let me show you. There is a module in ServiceNow like UI scripts, right? And I am coming again on my table A form. I am opening the form of my table A. So UI script basically is the script where you can write your right, where you can write your core JavaScript or you can do DOM manipulation as well. Otherwise, in ServiceNow not allowed to do the DOM manipulation anywhere in its client script, in the UI script part anywhere. Or sorry, in the UI script you can do, but in the UI action script, in the client script, it will not allow you to do the DOM manipulation. But the UI script is the only part where you can do the DOM manipulation. For example, let me see how it will work. So I am creating a UI script. Type of the UI script. So you are writing this UI script to run on the desktop or to run on the service portal or to all. So here desktop means here we are using it. So service portal, what is service portal? This is again a different module in ServiceNow. When we will cover it, when we will come on this topic, I will let you know. For now you can keep it on the desktop. API name. For example, you have to give some unique name to your script. So for example, I am giving it testing UI script. Okay. Global. Select the global. So what will happen whenever any page in your service now, whenever any page in your service now you're loading, right, your UI script will work. For example, alert, I am working here. So there is a basically always what happens, there is some common feature, common kind of thing we want to apply on all the pages. For that purpose we can use UI script. Right, I am working here. So you see it is started to come everywhere. As I selected it as a global, so I am working here, is coming here. If I will refresh this page, if I will refresh this page, if I will refresh this page, on all the pages you will see it is coming here, it is coming here. It is taking a little bit longer. So means the core purpose of the UI script, you can understand that, for example, whenever you want to apply a particular script and that script may contain some kind of flashing messages, some kind of DOM manipulation. For example, what kind of DOM manipulation? Document dot, for example, what you want to create an element, so document dot create element. I am not remember the exact function of the JavaScript. So for example, on the bottom of every page you want to provide a footer on the bottom of every page, so you can create an element in JavaScript, right? And that element you can create using the UI script in ServiceNow. On any page you can do it, right? Which is not possible using the client script or any other kind of script in ServiceNow. So many times we have to apply some DOM manipulation. For that purpose we use UI script. For now you will not get any particular scenario and you will not require to use it right now, or means I will say that most means it will not be any scenario, there will not be any particular scenario where you will guys where you will use it basically. So most of the part is covered only in the client script, only in the UI actions, so rarely you will use it basically. Okay, so, but this is the main purpose of the UI script, that we want to apply some particular feature, we want to apply some particular behavior, we want to flash some messages, right? Or we want to create an API which we call from any of the pages, right? So in that case that API will be available. For example, if I will create a function here, right? So that function I can call from any kind of page. That function I can call from anywhere. So in such scenario we use UI script, right? So this was about the all these four topics: UI policy, data policy, UI action, UI script. Now tell me any issue, any doubt, anywhere you guys have, let me know.
Yeah, hello Praveen. This is Ajay.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, I want to know once more the difference between UI policy and data policy.
Okay. 1 minute. So the difference between the data policy and the UI policy is same as the difference between putting the validation at the server side and at the client side. So what happens mostly we apply the validation at both side, at the client side as well as at the server side. But what happens whenever your record is not submitted only from the client side, because if you are submitting from the client side, you can manage it using the UI policy, that person should provide the value of this mandatory field. But consider there is a scenario that your record are not submitting only from the UI part, you are submitting the record from third party, you are submitting the record from backend, or you are submitting the record from somewhere else, right? There are many ways to insert the record in ServiceNow. In such scenario, how will you put the validation, because your UI part is not coming into the picture? In that scenario, what you will do, you will put the validation using the data policy at server side validation. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. And you said using data policy, it will create obstacles. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so what happens most commonly, for example, you are you are inserting your records, your bulk records you are inserting in ServiceNow. So bulk record we can insert in ServiceNow. So you have take the dump of the data from some tool and you are uploading the dump of the data in ServiceNow. what happens, because there is some mandatory field, or you have created 4 to 5 data policies, right? But now what will happen, you want to upload the data, but that data does not have those mandatory fields in many records. What will happen, it will not insert those records, right? You will find out that what is the problem, what is the issue, but you have forget to check the data policy, right? And it will become a problem for you. Later you will research, later you will investigate, and you will found that okay, because of the data policy I am facing this issue. So that's why in many rare cases, in very rare cases, or on only those only on those fields which are very 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 important in ServiceNow, on those fields only we apply the data policy. Otherwise we don't apply it directly, because most of the tables are those tables which are having data from many different sources as well. That's why only. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Praveen.
Okay. Otherwise I will close this call and you guys can continue with your work. Today I will give you the assignment for the UI policy, data policy, UI action, UI scripts. Tomorrow we will cover transform maps, right? Transform maps and import sets, mapping the transform map table. So all these things, and inbound email actions also the tomorrow topic. So we will cover these topics tomorrow, right?
So out of all the means server side and client side, UI action is both, right?
UI
Client
action,
side and
yes.
server side both.
For now, for you guys, it depends upon you that if you have checked it, the client checkbox, it will become client callable. If you have not checked the client, it will become a server side callable. But yes, there's a scenario where you can make a UI action client callable plus server callable, both a single. Otherwise, in one time you can make it either client callable or either server side callable, right? But yes, there is a one more scenario, third scenario, where you can make it to call client code as well as server side code. We will cover it tomorrow, or I will cover it the day after tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, someone asking something. Okay, so guys, I am closing this call for now. You can go back to your work. You can, if any one of you have not taken your breakfast, you can take your breakfast. Okay. So okay guys, thank you very much. Are we good to close this call, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Praveen.
Yes, Praveen.
Okay, ठीक है.
Okay,
Okay
thank you,
guys,
Praveen.
thank you. Bye. Bye everyone.
Bye bye.
So I think you have that problem. Karthik, you have that problem with the business rule.
Yeah, I have. I'll connect you. No.
Okay, so you can connect with me at around 1 o'clock. ठीक है?
ठीक है.
Okay, okay. Bye, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bramjit Baba. Oh shit.